that's funny.
Who doesn't think what's funny?
I'm just happy to be here, dude.
You're doing the same thing that happened last
I'm
time,
not.
where you get all bashful.
No,
Is he getting bashful?
I'm
Yeah,
not
look
getting
at him.
bashful. You just start the podcast as I'm saying something that I don't want in the podcast, and you ask me about it, and you try to get me to repeat it again.
I hit record on accident.
Nothing this man does is on accident.
That's about right.
It's true.
Okay, welcome into If You Want It. We've got a special guest with us that you may have seen this last summer at Dave Lore's birthday party up at the golf course.
Yes.
You had to be a member in order to be there.
Which I hope changes.
See if
You're
we can
telling
get
me
that
every
changed.
person there was a member?
Yeah, we're a guest of a member, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pretty much. It pretty much was all membership that was there.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Were you-
And so anyway, Tyler Anthony is what I'm trying to introduce him as because Kiefer did a terrible job at the beginning of this thing, introducing his boss.
I wouldn't call him my
I like
boss.
that.
I would.
I like that.
I would. He signed your paychecks.
Yeah, if he ever paid me.
Yeah. Tyler, I guess I'll start this off because Kiefer doesn't always have a sense of direction to get these things going, and I'm limited on time, as is Kiefer, always scheduling us in between things we each have to do.
Busy boy.
Does he do that to you too, Tyler, all
Yeah,
the time?
yeah, definitely.
Hey, I got 40 minutes here.
Can you give me a call?
You know, usually he's usually like, hey, oh yeah, I got time to do this. And then we're doing something. Oh, by the way, I got to make a call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to be the king of the having to make a call thing.
30 minutes later.
I'm not gonna fault him for that. I know what that's like in general, but
I know
No.
it's crazy how all of my calls last the exact amount of time it takes to load in and load out.
Yeah. Oh, so you're that guy in Tyler Anthony.
Well, no, I have business I'm doing.
Yeah. I guess it's better than just being drunk and not promoting
No,
anything.
he does that too.
We used to have a lot of problems with that. Like, okay, if you're not going to help, at least go do something for the band. No.
He wasn't talking about me when he
No,
said
I'm
that.
not.
I
wasn't.
figured not.
I actually wasn't. He wasn't that. He was pretty
I
good
figured.
for us. But so Tyler, I'll just start this thing off. We often, because Kiefer and I used to play together, as I think everybody well knows, yourself included, we often kind of talk through playing music and that process. So let's just start with what got you into music in the first place. So, like, what made you decide you wanted to play music and then start actually performing it, writing your own music, traveling and playing music for other people? Where'd that come from?
Well, I would say I first started. I got my guitar when I was really, really young. I was going to a Catholic school, and I always sang at church. I was in the choir. So my parents always had me involved in that stuff. And it just kept growing. It kept growing. I think like my passion for music was definitely just influenced from the activities I did in school and then kind of some people surrounding me. But as far as like the performance side of music, I definitely was just always wanting to be the guy in front of everybody. You know, like we have a video of us, my sisters and I singing some old Catholic song that we learned in school. And I was like definitely that guy that was like push them to the side, get up in front of mom's camera. So, I mean, I just always had that in me.
Yeah. Did was your family musically inclined?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
No. Yeah, like my sisters singing with me, like quote unquote, they suck. You know, they were not good.
Yeah.
Love you guys though.
And mom and dad weren't particularly.
No, my dad always says like the music came from my side because he played trumpet in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
But I have yet to hear him play a trumpet, so I don't know. I don't know if that was real or not.
Not, yeah. Same way for me. Neither of my parents did anything musically. My mom was forced to do dance when she was young, but that's still not, quite the same thing.
Your mom was a stripper?
No.
Oh,
Do you have any pictures from when she used to dance?
There,
summer vacation at the beach.
there was at one time for her 40th birthday party. Dad was able to drag some out and make at that time Xerox copies.
Oh, jeez.
And hung them up at the community building, and it was all her in her little dance outfits. Ages probably, I guess she probably started at like 5 and probably gave it up at like 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there.
I was thinking
yeah.
like college age girl.
No. Neither of my
She
parents went to
danced.
college. My dad went to the military, but
Well, most people in that profession wouldn't go to college anyways.
right.
They're
but
paying for college.
well, they're saving up for it. But I was really the first one that took up music in my family as well. And the only reason school, like you were saying, I decided I wanted to be in band. Like they kind of start trying to introduce you. Back then, they tried to start introducing us at like, I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade a little
Yeah.
bit. And then in 5th grade, if you want to play, you have to kind of decide then if you're going to try it. And I wanted to do percussion, and at the time, the band teacher we had wanted you to do 2 years of piano if you were going to play percussion.
Really?
Yeah. So I got into piano, like, I think it was like in third and 4th grade. And then ended up quitting piano, and when it came time to choose my instrument, I didn't choose percussion, I chose the trombone. Which is interesting.
Got cucked into playing the trombone.
No, I wanted to do it
You
because
wanted to?
yeah, they would. What they did was like at the end of 4th grade, they would send you over there, and you got to kind of try like each instrument.
Yeah, they did that with us too.
Uh-huh.
And I tried doing band, but I never. I was always bad at reading sight reading and reading the music.
And keeping tempo.
Yeah, no, I was great
And
at that.
hitting
I was
notes.
pretty good at all that. I would just memorize the sheet that they would give us to
Mhm.
play because every week. I don't know if you guys had to do a
Sight read.
yeah you had to like play and sight read but they'd give you it the week of so I just go home write in all the notes and then basically memorize it.
We sight reading for us. So the way it worked for us, I guess, is you really didn't do sight reading until you were a freshman, and that was only for the contest portion. So like the first semester would be marching band while the weather was decent,
Yeah.
and pep band, I guess, would kind of go hand in hand with that. And then once your fall sports got over, then you started doing Christmas concert stuff.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you got back from the break is whenever you started working on contest band. And that's when we would do some sight reading because you would have to at contests. But
Yeah.
we actually didn't do a ton of that.
See, I could sight read singing. I
Mhm.
could sight read. I did contests for vocal stuff, whatever. But yeah, just the instrument part, I just couldn't understand it.
At Gretna in the bigger school, could you do like band and choir? Or was it kind of like
you
chose
could?
one?
There was people who did.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't like band, and I dropped out, and I just could care less about talking about band.
When I was in school, I guess, like even whenever I started in 5th grade, all the way through my high school, shortly before,
Early
shortly
80s.
after, there was almost the entire student body was in band and chorus.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're opposite of those classes, band specifically. The only option was like PE for the kids that didn't want to, which was not very many.
Yeah.
And then like maybe I remember like opposite chorus / the musical, because once I got into high school, they started doing the music. They started back up the musical program, and that was again almost the entire school.
So
I didn't care for
this
musicals.
was all combined. Yours, like band and music and all that stuff, was kind of the thing, right?
Yep.
Because for us, it was very separately grouped.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
And they could conflict a little bit.
Yep.
But people did both at my school.
They would. Yeah, almost everybody
God
did
bless
both.
them, because
Yep. I would do band
a
and not
special
chorus. I didn't care for chorus much, and I did. Overall, once and again, it became musical centric for the first part of chorus. I don't generally care for musicals very much.
Yeah.
Everybody really gets. I'm just like, you love music. I'm like, yeah, but I don't. Like, if I want to go watch a play, I want to watch a play or a show or something. I don't need them singing
Yeah, but you could make a mean Scrooge,
Yeah.
or like the guy from Little Shop of Horrors, Seymour, because you got the ginger in you.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you could kill it.
Yeah.
You should take it up.
Yeah, well, so it used to be you could do drama separate. So, like, they combined chorus and drama for the musical.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it separated back out in the second semester. And I ended up only doing drama 1 year, which I really disappoints me. I should have done it more.
You
but-
should join the Liberty Theater. over in Rockport.
I don't know.
You should do it, and you should try to get Game of Thrones live.
No.
I'd
I
go
don't want
see
to
that.
do Game of
Rated R.
Thrones.
Rated R.
Yeah, I'd
Game
go
of
see
Thrones.
that.
Yeah.
You have to act out every scene, and I mean every scene.
Yeah.
One man play.
A one-man Game of Thrones show.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, nobody wants to see me do Game of Thrones. I've been too old for that stuff.
Nah.
It's kind of sad to say, I know, but yeah. So you pretty much, what I'm gathering is you tried band but didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, I tried band, didn't care for it, and then I did a lot of, and that was probably 4th or 5th grade.
Mhm.
And then around that time, I did a lot of like speech and a lot of the acting, and then choir, and the musicals. And then once I got to high school, really I was definitely, I'm going to go into choir because I love music.
Yep.
So that was a no-brainer. But I was kind of recruited by the drama coach when I was in 5th grade, saying, you need, like, when you come to high school, you have to come talk to me and you got to get a part of this program. So she was very helped me out really to help see my potential maybe, or whatever it
Yeah.
was. And
Do the sculpting.
yeah,
Your little
yeah.
your little ball of clay, and she just
You're
had
looking
to.
up. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, I see what you got, and you got to be a part of this. And so she helped me a lot, and I was heavily involved in speech, one act, which is what our acting dramas, comedies were, and then musical and choir, and then I picked up show choir my freshman year as well, and did show choir all 4 years.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I loved show choir a lot. I think it was a good group of people, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Very
Yep.
competitive. Not a lot of people realize.
Yeah. So did you learn a lot of music theory doing that, or?
I didn't really learn. I was learning sight reading and stuff like for singing, but and I mean sight reading as in I could look at it and I can read and I can like sing it, but I wasn't like going, okay, that's an F, that's a B, that's a C. So I was learning that.
That's just your report cards.
Yeah. Well, I learned how to read that. And
B and PE and choir.
A plus in sex ed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, everybody gets that real quick.
He went to an all-boys school.
it wasn't until senior year I took a can't even think of what it's called. I took an actual class for music theory. There you go. And then I went into college and I did music theory in college and stuff. And I was finally starting to get things.
Get
but-
things. Yeah.
I thought you had Tim for all the music theory stuff.
Yeah. Tim Sportsman.
No.
I'm kidding. Yeah. Tim Kosher. Tim Tom Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he helps me.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was just what he was
That's where I
around
learned it
for.
all. Yes.
Learned it, yeah.
And his baked beans.
I learned
Beans.
I learned a lot of it during piano.
Yeah, I wish I would have picked up piano sooner. I picked up piano kind of in like my freshman, sophomore year.
I don't remember shit about it.
Really?
I really don't. That is one thing that I didn't really retain. Like, I can still get myself set up on middle C.
Well, you were pretty young, and then if you stopped.
Yeah, and then whenever I was playing trombone, everything was in the bass clef. I could read music back then, but I can't read it very well
Nobody
anymore.
likes bass clef.
Yeah, I can pick up the way rhythm should work based on what are half notes, whole notes,
Yeah.
eighth notes, and all that stuff. But like to remember really what the notes are and where they are, I don't really remember that. I remember what like arrests are and all that type
Yeah,
of thing.
I think
but-
it's good to have a general knowledge of it, but
Yeah.
I don't think, at least not for me, I don't need to know any of that shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't care for it, I just.
Yeah, I remember FACE.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's all
every
the
good boy does.
deserves fudge or does fine, whatever you got taught.
Yep.
And all those types of things, but I can't remember much of it. And I took I think it was my junior year. I took a musical theory class, and learned a fair amount during that, but again, it's all out of my head. And by the time we were doing the band,
You didn't care.
I didn't remember it. I
Yeah.
just didn't really keep it together. And like scales and stuff like that, I kind of remember bits and pieces, but I really don't.
Yeah,
You
I
know
want to
what I
learn
mean?
more scales. I think.
Yeah.
I think scales are very important to learn
Yeah.
as a musician.
Yeah.
I will say.
But no, it's mostly, I guess you just play so much, you know what works and what doesn't for the most part.
Yeah. Look at
Yeah.
Van Halen.
I've never considered myself like unbelievably creative from like a writing standpoint. It's always just been like I hear something and try to make what makes sense. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong
without
with
getting
that.
very fancy.
That's what I hated about college. Was it was like if you're not if you don't understand that and not doing it like this, then you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But like, stop being so pretentious. Stop telling me, you know, like if it sounds good and I like it, then that's music.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about it.
Stop grading me.
Stop grading me. Exactly.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
on.
I remember some guys talking about like BB King was one of the first ones that kind of stood up and was just like, I mean, it's good to know this stuff.
He
but-
learned how to do a box, and then he stuck with it, and that's his career.
Well,
in an amazing way.
yeah, his thing was like, it's like,
What?
I also learned how to do a box and stick with it. Sorry.
his thing was like, you know, just because you understand all the inner workings, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to write a good song. Like
Exactly.
that's kind of the thing they said. Like you have to have a feel for what is a good song versus what is, I guess, on paper, the good makings of a song, you know, by theory standards. So I always thought that was pretty interesting.
And while we're talking about it, I was it reminded me I was on the phone with my dad driving up here, and he said we were talking about some tax stuff or something, I don't know, and he said tell Kiefer you can't write off butt plugs. So
You can too.
I just wanted to tell you that since we're on that topic.
You have to send in your used ones.
Yeah, that's
That's what they
They need
to get your
they need
credit.
to know that they were
recycling
used.
credit.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and then you can't send them. Then you can't sell them on your OnlyFans whenever you send them back to them.
Dumb.
Yeah,
Dang.
So, like, all of us kind of have, like, our own stage prowess and, like, a lot of energy on stage. Where do you guys, like, who did you guys watch to get, like, your moves, or, like, where does that originate for you?
For me, what?
Yeah, both of you guys. We all do stage stuff.
I remember I'd watch like Boston performing on YouTube, and I thought it was the coolest thing. They would do like, they would, you know, the keyboard player would also have bongos, and he'd be switching and be banging on them and doing all this stuff. The guitar player, you know, on 4Play Long Time would be playing electric guitar, and then all of a sudden he'd have an acoustic guitar on a stand, and he'd switch up and be playing that, and they would be moving around the stage. So definitely I took a lot from rock and roll growing up, and that's like really what gave me the idea of stage presence. But other than like famous people like that, I would say just in like in the drama department and in musicals, just looking up to the upperclassmen and folks and seeing how they perform and going, how can I do that and do better, and how can I be the best one? I want to be the best person in this room. I want to be the best person in this district. You know, in school, that's what I was thinking. And then once graduated, it's like, how can I stand out and how can I just be great? You know, and
Yeah.
so I think that's kind of where it came from for me. Is just trying to be the best.
do you want me to go? You got it.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a video before. I saw a video of Boston. The keyboard player is singing, and he's like shirtless and dripping sweat, and the camera's like kind of over here where he's playing, and then he just turns around and he starts hitting bongos.
Yeah, that's the video I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Dude, he was going ham on it, and
I
then he
know.
switched right back.
I know.
And I'm like, so like when you're like that young and you see shit like that, you're like, how do I get to be in that position without learning music theory, right?
yeah.
You gotta love playing by yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, you gotta love
Yeah.
practicing. That's I think with anything you're doing, whether it's music, sports, whatever. If you want to be the best, you have to love the moments of not doing it in front of people in order to be unbelievably good at doing it in front
Yeah.
of people.
It's a good note.
For me, I can actually remember the moment that I realize, so for me, being in front of people, I can take it or leave it. It doesn't bother me to do it. I don't necessarily have to do it. Now, as the years went on, I've gotten to, for a while, I was really comfortable where I really needed to, like, for sure. Now that we're not doing it as much, it doesn't bug me that much anymore. But I'll correlate that to the band portion of this. But the moment I noticed that, like, I could get up and talk in front of people and people were comfortable with me being the one kind of sharing their messages, we had to go to the Rotary my senior year, like in the middle of a football season. We were a terrible football team, and you had a mix of everybody in the county in that Rotary. And they brought, I guess, like the senior captains in. So it was like me, Dustin, who you know, our old drummer.
Yeah.
And
He's
then
moving back to play with us.
Good. Awesome.
A kid named Matthew brought, and then
a lot of
like,
miles.
Who was the other one? There was one more. I don't remember who the other one was.
It
but
wasn't Kyle, was it?
Kyle.
Live and good.
No, he'd have been a freshman when I was a senior. Yeah. Why do you ask that?
I didn't know. Or it could have been John, too. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Okay.
You didn't know the name. I was trying to help you, and now I look like the stupid one. Thanks.
But they started asking specific questions that they needed us, the players, to answer, and everybody just was like, I don't know what to say. And I just looked at him. I was like, I guess I'll answer the question, you know what I mean, to the best of my ability. And then, like, that whole and at this time I'm 17 or whatever, 17 I guess I would have been at that time. And, like, this is a group of, at that time, probably 40, 50-year-old men, you know what I mean? And I didn't...
My favorite age group.
Yeah, I know. I could tell.
17.
I could tell. 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
But they responded to what I had to say, and we had like a real conversation pretty much, and the coaches didn't even have to speak a whole lot. And then whenever we got back to the school, like, the coach pulled me aside. He's like, "Thank you for doing that." Like, they, you know, it was pretty obvious nobody else was going to answer their questions, and like you actually like.
And that made you feel good.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so then at least I'm not an idiot. Like, I can at least talk about these things the way I guess view them to people, and it seems to be acceptable. And then later on, like, I did the drama thing, and again, it wasn't that I had tried several years. There was a specific group of people that wanted in drama that were older than us, so like it was really hard to get in if you didn't start when you were a freshman and stick with it. And then my junior year, I get sick and missed tryouts, and I had a girlfriend that wanted to do it, and there was too many people, and she wasn't going to get to because she was a sophomore. I think she might have been a freshman that year. I was a junior. I think the drama guy was going to let me in regardless, but he still needed me to audition, and he's like, just read something for me. That's all I want you to do. And I was like, no, I missed it. I'm not going to do it. And I knew it was going to piss my girlfriend off at the time, so I was just like, I won't do it. So then the next year we both got in, all that stuff. And we just sat down and did a table read, and he just, when we did the initial read of the thing, he's just like, I don't want to upset anybody here, but he should be that part. You know what I mean? And that, again, gave me more confidence. So it's a long way of telling you, when it came time to do One Headlight High, and I kind of did it whenever we were doing our high school bands, but, like, I don't think that's a fair comparison. Like, you know, you're not very good at that age at the end of the day. That's when you're learning how, and I kind of tried to do that type of thing, but I wasn't real comfortable then. But we needed somebody, and the guy that we had singing originally really wasn't that person, and neither were really any of the other guys, and so they needed somebody to do it, and I was just like, well, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And then I just perfected getting better at it. But the people that I watched a lot were like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Green Day.
The Bullet in the Bible thing came out whenever I was freshman, sophomore, and like it was just like we had tried to go see him, and it was really hard because American Idiot was such a big deal, and like so I got to see that record and DVD after it had come out. Yes.
Did you ever do eyeliner?
I did not, but that's because so that same girlfriend would put it on me, but my hair was too browny red for it to look worth a shit, and I never did dye my hair.
You could have done it. Who's that guy with the red hair that's all crazy on stage?
I don't know, but
Carrot Top?
No, well, Carrot Top, but wasn't not Ted Nugent. He didn't have orange hair.
Sammy Hagar?
sort of, kind of.
Hagar.
Hagar.
Yeah.
What about him?
I don't know. What were we talking about? Let's move on. We'll be
Eyeliner.
right back. All right.
Eyeliner, but no, we never really did that. Stud belts and DCs and
That's fair.
Stud belts are sweet.
Etnies and
I wish I could wear them.
skinny jeans and all that type of stuff.
Skinny jeans are sweet.
Yeah. So, so I basically just did it and then perfected it over the time that we played together to where it was not unlike what you're talking about, where it's really not unlike just acting at the end of the day.
It is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. Putting on a show.
Yeah. Yeah, it occurred to me there was like this really wild frat party that we were playing one time, and one of the guys came up to me and was just like, "Are you ready for this?" And it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same thing regardless of if I'm excited, if I'm not, if they're excited, if they're not. Like, it just got to where it's like I can do that. Basically, it will because it's So I don't know. That's my story.
Like, the bigger the shows, like, I don't necessarily say, like, I don't know about you, but I don't get more nervous or anything.
Yeah.
Since we've done it, like, so many times and it's so repetitive. It's like the smaller shows where nobody's there that I'm just kind of like, oh.
You got to make sure this one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't, like, the problem with smaller shows is you can go to some degree about your general business, and this is always an argument that we had. It's like, you can kind of go about your general business of putting on a show, but there's also some things that you can't do.
You can't do the callback.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do callbacks. It's a little hard maybe sometimes to make like a serious point that you're trying to make, I guess, if you're that type of band where like you want enough people to feel something out of something that you're saying to kind of get them excited, but if there's only like 10 people there, then like it's not going to fall. Like it's like you can't do crowd control without you can't do some type of crowd control without a true crowd. You know what I mean?
To an extent.
I mean, some of that stuff. Some of that stuff you can't do with.
How long did you talk at Vala's? Before?
I don't know.
Is it 8 minutes?
It was probably
12
It's
minutes?
like
I can already tell you that's too long.
3.5 minute song. Well, our drummer's in the talkback mic, and he's like, "All right, Ty, we got time for 2 more songs." And I was kind of over it. I'm like, "Let's do 1 more." He goes, "Yeah, but we got like 12 minutes." I go, "Don't worry, I'll take care of that. I got this." And I talked for like
9 minutes.
8 or 9 minutes, and then we went into the song, and yeah. I was rambling, dude. I was rambling.
I ended up just stepping back and watching. Because the guitar player and steel player are both playing, like, background music. Like, we have a little intro for it. And he was just talking. I was like, this is nuts. He's still going.
He's in the ears like, all right, wrap it up. And I just didn't. I just like, nope, 4 more minutes. I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But that was funny.
No, I find like I found and it was always really hard to get. Like it's probably easier because you guys are probably running a lot better system than we did. But like the thing that would drive me insane is like I would try to explain to Dustin like I don't want a transition for 3 songs. Like, we're going to play 3 songs in a row before I say something again. And it would never, lo and behold, he would flip his thing over to the next beat and not start it. And you would start to get too long of a silence. And he would always look at me like, are we going to go? It's like, no, I wanted you to
start the song.
Right into it, yeah.
And then, like, other times he'd be like, well, then this other person's tuning. I'm like, fuck him. Then you start the song, not the guy tuning. So if he's dicking around tuning...
Yeah.
Like he has to start when he has to start. Like you know what I mean? And like
nothing worse than wanting to control that and you can't.
Can't. Yes. So then it would often force me into saying something, and I hated that.
Yeah, and then you say something stupid.
Right.
Well, it's just like there's a balance of talking too much.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Your line of logic.
Yeah, you want to put a show on still.
Yes. Your line of logic needs to be no more than about 3 sentences at any given time. Truthfully. At the end of the deal. Now you can stretch out a little bit, but like if you find yourself talking more than I'm going to say 40 seconds between a song, you're probably talking too long. Like it really is that way. Like You can and you can take you could have you can have a planned little thing where you're going to do something that's longer than that, but that needs to be about one time in the middle, and then maybe one time again towards the end.
Do you need a nap or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
and I gotta
bored?
go.
Are you bored?
I've got to go
That's
get in
sleepy.
line here, but
Yawning?
Giannis, come with you.
no.
Yeah, this is portable, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. But I just to answer your question, Billy Joe was a big one that always impressed me as to how well, and then going and seeing it later when I got older is an even different level of it. But Tom DeLonge, because
Blink-182.
Yeah, got it.
because Tom DeLonge, the thing about Tom DeLonge is not so much what he says. They're still pretty farts and poops and blowjobs and stuff like that. In between songs, they don't usually get very
Sentimental.
serious and theatrical in the same way that Green Day does. But the thing about Tom that I took from him is you, even if you're not for him, he's not even the best singer in the world, right? But he presents himself in a way that it doesn't matter what he's playing or what he's singing, you believe in it. And so that was one thing that I took from him. You have to exude the confidence in what you're doing is good, and other people will see it that same way.
Yep.
But if you don't believe in it, then they're not going to believe in it.
Yep.
And
You have to capture the audience.
Yeah.
And
Yep. And then from a logistical standpoint, watching I remember going to some Fall Out Boy shows and some All American Rejects shows, and really when I would go to shows, and I've talked about this on all the time, with Kiefer all the time, but I find myself analyzing the show a lot more than enjoying the show, especially when we were playing regularly.
yeah.
I have a problem with that.
But I learn a lot, so it would help me better things to do and things not to do. You know what I mean? Watching all these other guys, and then from a logistical standpoint, this is gonna sound weird. I was thinking about this the other day. It's weird you asked this question. It might have been yesterday when I was working out, but another person that taught me a lot of interesting stuff, just kind of about the trade in just general conversation. Huh?
That's me.
Yeah, Tim Gibbler, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Tim
Fair.
Gibbler had, they were a cover band that was relatively popular in the general area. But they would randomly get on these festivals where they could open up for Bad Company and some other old rock bands Head East or some of these other things. And he would share a lot of stuff about just growing up and learning the right way to do a show versus a wrong way to do a show. And just I wouldn't say that I took what he had to say for verbatim, because it's, he's from a completely different era, but just taking some of his experiences and things that he's you guys should maybe consider dressing like this, or really should consider doing your lights like this or stuff like that. And then kind of morphing that into what made sense for us.
It's important to have someone you can look up to and talk to and get whatever information you can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That you had someone like that.
Yeah. And I kind of got to know him better a little bit too late, truthfully. He would have been a lot more help whenever I was 22. I mean, by the time I was spending a lot of time with him, I was probably 26, 27, and then the first part of my 30s. He could have probably could have helped us way more if I'd have started that sooner. But by the time I was the age I was, it was a lot easier to legitimately appreciate the information, because sometimes at that age, when you're early on at that age, you get a lot of information and don't do anything with it because you think you know better a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
He could have talked to me you're in a fucking classic rock band. You don't know what you're doing, and but that's not true, because it really doesn't matter what you're playing. The show logistics really kind of are the same regardless of what your genre is. So I've got to run. If you want to finish this, I'll hurry up and come back.
Okay.
Can you guys keep it going? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking, could you imagine you're running the Boston Marathon, and you're running, you're tired.
Yeah.
And then you see all the smoke and stuff and a loud boom, and you're oh, somebody already finished. So you pick up the pace and keep running, and then you don't realize what's going on.
Yeah. I'm not too.
Is that too big of a transition?
Well, no, I just don't know. I don't know enough about Boston and marathons.
Oh.
So,
I was just saying, I would imagine most people didn't know and just like kept running.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a marathon.
Or
so
if there's
I'd keep running.
or if there's bombs going off after like 13 kilometers, I don't know how
Why
long
would there
they
be
are.
bombs though?
It's the Boston bombing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you brought up Boston earlier.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh, the band. It's a great segue.
yeah,
Oh, the Boston bombing. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were just talking about marathon in Boston or
No.
something. But we're talking about the Boston Marathon bombing.
Can you imagine running like 13 miles and then you're like, I have to sprint away from
Dude,
this?
and all you want is like a little like jelly packet, you know, the energy packet. You finish, and people's legs are blown out. That's actually really messed up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
These pictures are horrific.
It's just people running.
Well, yeah, that one is. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Was it a big bomb? I really don't know much about this because that cloud does not look big. That smoke looks weak.
Well, I think there's like a bunch of nails and stuff in it. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I remember when that happened. What was it, like
It was
2013? 13? 25?
Weird enough, this guy kind of looks like Luigi, the CEO guy.
He kind of does.
What if it's the same person?
Dude, a lot of people are saying that like that car blowing up at the Trump Tower
Yeah, I didn't
is
really.
tied with Luigi and tied with LA fires, and
I didn't really know. I don't know much about that,
I
other than it was a Tesla truck.
it was a Tesla truck. They're saying that this guy who blew up, he had like his own. It was like he had written down a manifesto of things that are wrong and things that need to come out.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things that they're hiding. I don't know much about it either, but yeah. So I guess he wrote that, and they found that, and then he blew himself up. And I think he was stationed at like some sort of army post or something
Yeah.
with like a whole bunch of other guys who have done some horrible things too. So
Yeah.
they're wondering like, is that where it's coming from or what's going on? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy guy much, but
Could you like the guys that write manifestos, especially when they're like, "This is wrong. This is what it needs to be."
yeah.
Do you think government officials ever like read through there and they're like, "Yeah, that's exactly what we do. How did he know?" Or just some
I-
crazy ramblings.
I don't know. It's what even is a manifesto? Like,
It's like how things should be done. Like, let me get the actual definition. A public declaration of policy and aims, especially one issued before an election by a political party or candidate. No, a manifesto for gay liberation
okay,
is the
is the,
Yeah.
the sentence.
a written statement declaring publicly the intentions, motives, or views of its issuers. Yeah,
Yeah, that is wild.
yeah, because
It's wild to think like, yeah, I know what needs to happen, and this is my aim, and this is the policies that need to change, and then I'm gonna blow up a Tesla and kill myself.
yeah, it's crazy for anybody to be like, I'm gonna blow myself up.
That is it's kamikaze. That's like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could
what?
get hurting a large group of people, but like hurting yourself. I'm not saying I'm doing
So
it.
vain here.
My manifesto will be out.
Yeah, I never got that, or like the murder suicides.
I mean, I kind of get that if like, you know, you're going to get caught.
Yeah, but why would you murder someone then? Like, why not just kill yourself?
Well, imagine this, okay? Imagine you're working on a document and you have a bunch of pictures, but the person you're working with hardly puts any of you in it and keeps covering your face up with videos.
Okay, I kind of have a similar. Yeah, this actually happened recently. Earlier today, this happened to me.
You're like, hold up. No. Yeah, not the switch you thought.
Nope, not the switch I thought.
Yeah. Do you want to plug your new hockey puck? Tyler Anthony Hockey Puck.
Tyler Anthony, hockey pucks. Hockey pucks. Can they see it? Has
Yeah.
a TA on it, and you can open the hockey puck and put things in there, whatever you want.
Like tiny little hockey sticks.
Tiny little hockey sticks. You can play a little tiny little hockey game here.
Tyler Anthony tabletop hockey.
Tabletop hockey. That's our new merch item. It's going to be $65.
$65.99.
Yes, made
Yeah.
in China.
Shipping's free. Make sure you talk to your parents before ordering.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that'd be smart.
yeah. So,
Yeah, you were like, we're not going to talk about music at all, and then blown out of the water with music, and I'm like, ugh,
yeah, I know. He
Like,
went right
dude,
into it.
man,
Yeah, that's why I try to switch it up.
dude, what even is music now? Is that all I am?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
You should go off the deep end like Kanye.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Have you ever seen that
I
video?
don't think I have enough money to do that.
Have you ever seen that video of he's like talking, like during a song? He goes, "Yeah, I met so and so. It was great." Yeah, he's just like rambling on and on about nothing. He's like, "It was
Like,
awesome."
like, was it a famous person? He's like, yeah, I met this person.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, and it was great. All right, good for him. All right.
And then he just keeps talking.
And then he keeps going on a different whole thing, different.
Yeah.
subject. Yeah. It sounds like someone I know.
Who?
You
What? Why?
just talk about something.
I wish
then
there
all of a
was an
sudden you switch
earthquake
up.
right now.
See, exactly. Boom. Kanye.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's 50 Cent.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
Jason Derulo.
Derulo. It's crazy that Jason Derulo is always kind of where we're at.
Derulo. Dude, it happened twice, but he also has a home in Omaha, and he owns like the volleyball team.
Does he? I didn't know he owned the volleyball team.
Yeah, yeah. So
Is that like the
it's
Thunders
not
or Tornado?
That crazy. I think it's something like that.
Yeah. And they're trying to do a like professional soccer team out in Gretna, right?
Are they?
Yeah, I was trying to remember
Or
who was telling me that.
It was or is
Who,
it a
who,
hockey?
who?
No, it's a hockey. Or no,
No, it's soccer.
is it soccer?
Yeah, because Kansas City just built theirs.
Yeah, I think that's dope. I love soccer. I don't really watch sports at all, but I
Yeah.
grew up watching my sister play soccer. Both my sisters played softball, but Lindsay continued to play soccer
Yeah.
through college, and I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
If you could like go back and pick a sport and not do music, what do you think you would have done?
I mean, I'd be stupid not to say football because I'm a big guy.
Do you ever think like if you would have chosen that instead of music, you'd be in like the XFL or like minor league football? No.
Oh, man, is this
Working
assuming that I
towards-
like understood how to play football and I was like decent?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I believe I'd be good. I believe I'd be good at anything I did. Yes.
Kind of cocky.
I don't know. I just asked you if I understood it and if I was good at it.
Yeah.
You said yes. So then yeah, I believe I would work as hard as I could to be the best at it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, why are you sassing me?
I don't know.
Getting awful sassy.
Well, I'm sorry.
You have led this thing off the rails.
If you would have played more football, I don't think you would have gone on to play NFL or XFL.
I could have taught or coached at Penn State.
That's a lie. maybe they would take you at like
6.
I don't know.
How long do you want it? We should make this 3 hours.
Yeah. But I'm going to be honest. If I'm here for 3 hours, I'm going to need
A microwave.
a microwave because I have my lunch here that I packed in my wife's lunch bag that's still cold. Needs to be microwaved.
Yeah.
I thought showing up here you'd have a frickin' microwave. No, I was going to say like I'm going to need a soda or a whiskey or beer.
Yeah, I don't have any of
Well,
that.
I know that. You don't even have a microwave, so I can't expect any. You don't even have a fridge. I looked in this room the minute I walked in and was like, the first thing I did, where's the fridge so I can put my food in there? No fridge. Who doesn't have a small little mini fridge?
I'm not made of money.
Dude. Like, I don't know.
I have gimbals and Beats by Dre headphones. What do you think I spend my money on? Food?
Dude, and what are.
They're the mixers.
I know. What's up with the colors, though?
They're awesome. Everybody just does black. It's dumb.
Black looks good.
No.
It's thinning.
You want the color to pop.
No, I don't want my headphones to pop.
Yeah, you do.
Why? I don't want someone to look at a video and be like, "Damn, nice headphones."
What?
I don't know. Or no, they wouldn't even say nice headphones. They'd just be like, "Damn, that's loud. That's a wild choice for headphone colors."
Yeah, loud is awesome.
I'm trying to read his lips. If the guy's deaf, he might be saying that.
I don't think we have a lot of deaf viewers for this podcast.
I don't think you have any viewers.
And if we do, hello.
If we do, if we do, can you look over real quick how to do hello or welcome? I'm sorry.
Yeah, good times.
I don't know. I
We're-
love include everyone.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You fired Eric because you hated including him
I've
in
never
things.
fired anyone lately.
Lately. What has been like your favorite road trip we've done so far?
Ooh. My favorite road trip. I mean, I'll wait.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's just loud. My favorite road trip. I mean, there's the classic Minnesota trip we took, where Tim was just farting the whole way, broke his nose. It was his birthday. We didn't know until fucking that night.
That was like the first time you zinned.
First time I zinned. I mean, a lot of memorable moments on
Yeah.
that trip. I do really. I mean, like, dude. They all run together so much. They do.
Well, it's always like the same people.
It's same
making
people
the
and it's
memories.
similar things. Yeah, and it's always just us laughing our asses off, you know. But I do remember one time that I hated the drive home, and that was when we took the van, my GMC Vandura, to Oklahoma. We got so twisted and messed up at this what is in Stillwater? What's that place? Anyways, at this venue, watching bands, a battle of the bands. We weren't even we weren't even playing. We just went.
Business
We watched,
trip.
business trip, and we got messed up. The next morning, you were hurting so bad. You are hurting so bad, and you get into the van. It's winter, by the way.
It's
and
cold.
Kiefer's in the back seat of the van, which this van don't heat up too well, and I'm shivering even, and I like the cold. And Kiefer's bundled up in like 2 blankets that we had just in case we got like stranded on the side of the road. I brought blankets, so he's bundled up, just sleeping like a little baby, and having a grand old time while I am stuck driving 6.5, 7 hours back home. And I was so pissed off at him. I'm like, we have so many memories that we make while driving, and you're just wasting these hours sleeping because you hurt yourself.
Well, you're also cold, and then Tim was like, "Well, you just need to change
So-
your fins."
So, yeah, and I'm getting to that. I was starting to get cold. I'm pissed off. I was starting to get cold. And, yeah, Tim looks over at me and goes, "Well, that's because this thing down here, you got your vent open up." And I'm like, "What?" I've owned this van for how long? I'm like, "What are you talking about?" We pull over, gas station, and he opens my door, and there's a little pull thing, and there's a vent that you can open and close by your feet, the driver's feet. It's for the summer when you want cool air to come in and, you know, cool you down. So that's been open this whole time because my feet were frozen. All I had was on my boots.
You had froze toes.
I had froze toes. I hated that.
I loved how we
Sorry.
lost Tim that night where...
Oh, we didn't lose him. He kept leaving us.
Yeah. And we just kept walking by the same, like, college-looking
Oh, my
cowboy
gosh.
dude. We were like, "Have you seen my buddy Tim?" No, stop asking me.
He was about to fight us because we just kept, and we kept going up. Hey, we're looking for our buddy Tim. He's kind of like this, and he's got a long beard.
He's dressed like us.
Dude, stop asking me. If you keep asking me this, like, I'm getting tired of this shit. Like, just, I mean, I'm like, Kiefer, you got to stop.
And then we just kept doing it.
God, yeah.
That was fun.
We went into the smoke room that they have there, and and there was 2 ladies in there. We were like, "Have you guys seen our buddy?" And they just left. And so we're just like in the smoke room, no smokes even. We're just standing here.
Yeah, where was Tim
Thought it'd
during
be
all
a
that?
party. I honestly think he was watching us and just going the opposite direction. We
Yeah.
kept going. Because it's not like it's that big of a place. There were a lot of people there.
It was a fairly big place.
Yeah, but it's like sectioned off, you know?
Yeah.
And there's the dance, then there's the side where the billiards are, there's the bar, and then there's the
Yeah.
smoking room.
Well, they had that like other bar room with the stage where that Justin Showalter.
Oh, in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you first walk in.
Yeah, because I thought that was just it, and I was like,
What was the
This
venue called? It was.
I don't know. I can see the building. It looked
I know it's
awesome.
in Stillwater.
I'll
It's
Google it.
Stillwater Music Venue. Jamie, look this up for me, Jamie.
Jaime
Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed. It's a great place. I
Yeah.
remember we were there, and so we drove the van, and we had the bullhorns in it. And I remember Dwayne Bryan was out there.
Do we have the bullhorn? We
Yeah.
didn't have the bullhorns
I
on
had the
there yet, did
bullhorns
we?
on it, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't. No,
Dude, I bet you I have the picture of it.
no, because we got the bullhorns with Eric, and I don't think we. I don't know. Oh my god! That outside stage. Holy cow!
Oh, that's their calf fry.
Was that
Good
Battle
luck.
of the Bands? Oh yeah, I guess you did.
That's it.
Yeah, I forgot about the Transformer.
Yeah. Yeah, so we brought the bullhorns and we drove it up. Well, Dwayne Bryan was like, drive it up right by here, right in the front, so everyone could see it. I'm like, can I do that? And he's like, you can do that. And I go, I'm not doing that. So he goes, give me the keys. And he hops in and he drives that sucker onto the like concrete, onto the sidewalk
Yeah.
right in front of the door. We're like taking pictures of it. Finally, someone's like, you need to move this.
Yeah, of
Like-
course he'll drive it up. It's
like,
not his
you
ticket.
don't own this. Yeah, I know. I'm an idiot. That was awesome, though. Bless you. Thank you. Elephant. Don't do that.
Sorry, I panicked.
I hate when you do that. You
I
sneeze
don't
on
do
me.
it.
Yes, you do.
What do you think the grossest thing we've done together is?
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to say.
That bad?
I puked one time,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, dude,
Maybe
look,
don't.
I puked.
And then you poked your finger in my mouth. Puke pink.
did
You
not
had puke on your
Poke
fingers.
my
and you poked
finger
me
in your
the
mouth. I did not. No. You put your mouth on my finger.
Yeah, that's exactly what somebody would
Well,
say.
you always do. You've done that a lot. You like to mouth fingers every now and again. And it just so happened I had puke on that
We
finger.
all like to mouth. McKinley had her work party for our farms last Saturday, and we went to it. And I was talking about how, like, we'll dip our fingers in drinks and pass
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out, and how we'll be like, what's that taste like? And you go, here you go, try. And we'll, like, do it. And this guy who is, like, my age was like, what the fuck do you guys do? And then the rest of the night he started mixing his drink with his fingers. And you go, oh, that tastes like shit. I go, dude, it's your finger. All the girls were like judging me. Then he started doing it. It became funny.
It's a good joke.
Yeah. Harmless.
I don't know how we don't get sick more. It is fairly harmless.
I think it builds our immune system.
It probably does. It probably does. It is funny when people see that because some people think it's funny, and then a lot of people are like, "You guys are
Whoa.
weird."
No, it's always funny.
But it's funny because of that. Yeah.
It's so off-putting that it's funny.
yeah.
Getting sick, it always like throws me off when Tim's sick. Cause that dude is never,
Yeah. He doesn't get sick often.
hardly at all. And so whenever he's like, "Yeah, I've been sick the past week," I'm like, "What happened to you?
You're like, have you not been eating your chilies?
Have you not been blessing your bodies with the hot chilies?"
Tim, you need to get some chili. Tim, have you been showering more? I'm just kidding.
Tim should probably like try to sell his.
Come up with a hair product because his hair's beautiful.
Dude, his hair is beautiful,
I don't know how he does it.
and his hairline's fantastic.
It's the chilies.
It might be.
It could be.
I think he should try to sell his chili powder.
It could be. No, I think he should.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of work into that. I think it's something to do. You know, he comes when he gets off work. He's always he got grease and stuff on him because he's a hardworking man. You know.
Greases through
Yeah.
the hair.
I
grows
don't
it
know.
Back.
That could be something.
True.
What is making that noise? Your cup?
Yeah. I still remember the day I went and picked him up at his shop, and he was mad at his boss, and he grabs his steel from inside, and he goes out to put it in my car, and he just throws it on the ground. I'm like, oh my God, why would you throw that?
This case is built for that.
That's like $4,000, Tim. That shit's expensive.
I did just buy a new one, so.
Yeah, but he, like later, he was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have thrown it when we were driving up to your place." And I go, "Yeah, I heard a loud pop from inside." And he goes, "Did you really? What do you think it was?" I said, "I don't know. It sounded bad." He was all worried. He's like, "We need to get to Tyler's."
To open this baby up.
Dude, I had him so concerned.
So mean for that.
Dude, I know. Oh.
Oh.
Could you imagine carrying a steel through through a marathon only to see like a bunch of loud noises and like smoke coming up and everybody's running around and you're like, "I can't run, I'm holding the steel guitar, it's heavy."
He won't drop it then. He'll drop it when he's mad at his boss.
I hate that stupid steel. It is
so heavy.
ungodly heavy.
It is so heavy. Hi there.
Hey,
Hi.
how's Simon?
Fine.
Fine.
Those stairs are rough.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a hurry.
I know. I ran up them earlier today just to get my workout in.
So what were you talking about? You don't have to stop because I got back.
Oh, yeah. So,
Well, I just circled back around to the Boston Marathon.
well, yeah. And then we were...
Yeah, I heard you saying that on the way out. I don't know what you could have possibly had to say about that.
Anyways, we were,
I had a lot.
we were talking about band and stuff. Because we love band.
Yeah.
No, we weren't. We were talking about the Boston
We were
Marathon.
talking about Tim and the time he threw his steel on the ground in front of me, and how I said there was like a really loud pop, and he was all panicked in the car because he thought he broke it. Yeah. What do you want to talk about now that we're all back together?
I don't know.
Who has questions about me and the other person's friendship?
Just you, apparently. That's what I'm.
Who's the other person?
Maybe you have some questions you want to
Who's
ask.
the other person?
What do you mean?
Can I be Joe Rogan? Maybe if we switch seats, this will flow better.
Did you watch all of that?
No, not yet.
Do you ever watch Kill Tony?
No.
I love Kill
No.
I
Tony.
don't.
You should. It's funny.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, I've heard.
I like that. Bringing it back to Tim, that we watched it with Tim, and he was like, "I like that."
Well, yeah, because at first he's like, I'll turn on this stupid shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, this is good. This is pretty funny.
What, Joe Rogan?
No,
No,
Kill
Kill
Tony.
Tony.
Oh, Kill Tony. Yeah, I got you.
Do you remember when we had Tim Sportsman in the group chat with all of us? And he kept leaving.
yeah.
We'd add him back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just friended him the other day.
Did
on
you?
Facebook, yeah.
Why?
I don't know, actually. Because I was in that group chat again, and then it was like, I don't know, his name popped up. I'm like, oh, friend him.
Yeah. What did he send? It was something really weird, and I thought it was weird that it was in that group chat.
I don't know. Can I look it up?
No.
Okay.
Dead air.
Would be dead air if you let it. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what tangent you went on for the last 15, 20 minutes, but
Yeah, he ran it off the rails. as
Was
soon
it
as he
that
left.
long?
It was KJ.
Oh, I got it. No, I left the group. I left the group immediately after
Oh.
sending it.
Probably smart. It was weird. I don't remember what it was.
It was weird.
Now, we were talking about some trips we've made.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And this place we went to and we got pretty turned.
Tumbleweed Dance Hall.
That
Wait.
looks nice.
We didn't play. We were just there.
Mm.
Just there, and it's Oklahoma, so there was a lot of weed there.
Yeah.
A lot of whiskey.
A lot of whiskey.
Oh, the whiskey on.
Weed and
I
whiskey.
gotcha.
Barbecue down there was awesome.
Oh my God, Kiefer spent like $300 for us to eat barbecue.
Woo.
Yeah.
But I also
Was it good?
I also spent $300 in gas, so
Yeah.
Kiefer can't be mad at that. Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you still are. Okay.
What
Yeah.
was that?
Everything turns up Tyler, doesn't it?
Turns up what?
Tyler.
Turns
Because
me
it's
up?
your band.
Yeah. I'm confused. What'd you say? Everything turns up, Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything gets me riled up.
Kiefer's out $200 on barbecue.
Yeah, but I'm out fucking $1,000.
Yeah,
for
but
their asses there.
employees don't care.
No, they don't give a shit. Look how good this place looks.
This place was awesome
It looks all right.
It didn't help that Kiefer was drinking old fashions, I think.
all night.
How did we even get there and get to the venue? Tim drove us.
That's
Tim
right.
drove the van. Because I was like, because we were like, we're really hungry. We're at the venue. We're so hungry. And I'm like, well, I ain't fucking moving that van because I have participated in some things tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim's like, man, I'll drive. That's what you had.
Yeah.
I had one of them.
Boy.
Can they see this screen?
No, but I
No,
can.
he'll put
take
it in,
pictures,
maybe.
yeah. Probably
Um,
won't. Too
he
much
probably
work.
won't.
Yeah.
But I got you. All right. Well, then I've got a question. So, why country?
Why
Yeah.
country?
Mm-hmm.
Country music, I assume.
Correct.
Okay. Man, dude, I when I started writing music, the music just kind of fell into that kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it fit my voice. When I was in kind of like later on in high school and into college, that's when I started really getting into country, like
Mhm.
classic country, and I think it really fit like my roots. It fit who I was as
Mhm.
a person.
Yeah.
I first did try to do some hip hop stuff.
Oh wow.
Harp an hour later.
I'd like to
I was
see
gonna go into that, but you
Yeah,
beat
I
me to
I
it.
removed a lot of the music.
It was on Spotify.
I bought chains. I bought chains.
No shit. Is there
Yeah.
pictures of this?
Um,
Because I can't see it. I'm just gonna be honest
yeah,
with you. I
dude,
can't.
I had my hair slicked back with the hard part.
yeah.
Actually,
Cut
Easy.
cut my eyebrow.
Yeah.
You didn't cut your eyebrow.
I did once. And then I never
What?
did it again. And yeah, I was like, I loved Post Malone, so I was just really trying to be Posty.
Yeah, I got you.
Which is, I also tell people, it's kind of funny. I was the first one to do the hip hop into country, not Post. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I just loved country music. My music matched it.
Yeah. Did you grow up listening to a lot of it, or
I
were
grew
you-
up listening to a lot of soft rock,
Yeah.
so like a lot of Eagles, a lot of Allman, a lot
Mm.
of Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
Keep on rocking me, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
I just wanted people to know I could sing.
I'll edit that part out.
I'm kidding. But yeah, and then
BMI is gonna come after.
And then,
us.
and then
Yeah.
I always grew up on, like, when I first learned guitar, it was John Denver was like one of my first
Gotcha.
musicians.
Yeah,
I
that
learned
guy's full of
much-
shit.
So much of his music. He's what?
That guy's full of shit, man.
John Denver?
Yeah.
Why?
He's Dumb and Dumber.
Damn it.
You don't remember that scene?
I don't.
Whenever they fucking think they're going to Colorado and he makes the turn.
Why do you guys always do this to me?
He makes the turn to Nebraska, and as they're pulling into the Nebraska skyline, and Harry wakes up, he's just yep.
Expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this. I was thinking the same thing. John Denver's full of shit, man.
surely you know that.
No, I don't.
Oh man,
I don't. I don't honestly think I've ever watched the full Dumb and Dumber.
are you kidding?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do it tonight, but
Oh my god.
my friends said no.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
You're that old.
Oh man, yeah, maybe it's just you're
I
just
quit.
a little too late. A little too late to grow up with that one.
Well, like I was big on Austin Powers,
Well, sure,
So,
but
just
I mean,
never-
Dumb and Dumber's '94. The first Austin Powers was 1997.
Honestly, I thought Dumb and Dumber was just dumb. I think so. I never watched it.
Oh,
you know?
no.
I mean, it was called Dumb and Dumber, but I've seen parts of it. Maybe like I
gotcha.
know the dog van that they had or whatever,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
It's a
I know
cat.
that. Whatever. I know the bike. I know the
Dog.
motorcycle scene. Like I know
Yeah.
bits of it, but I don't remember.
Oh man, yeah.
Making
I
me
can
look
see
like
that.
a dipshit again.
No, I mean
Come
it's
on.
just it's showing my age more than anything else. Probably. So Kiefer's like what directly in between us, basically.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 34. I'll be 35 in June.
Yeah, Kiefer's 42.
Almost.
Wait, you're actually 28, right?
Yeah.
29.
29?
No,
29.
28 right
Is
now.
it 28?
28.
Oh.
28.
When's
so-
your birthdays?
Saturday?
It's your birthday.
Oh, I see. I was thinking it was like the 14th or something.
No.
I got you.
Alex Sinachek's
And you're
birthday
playing a
was
show?
yesterday.
Or no, my son's is 14th.
And you're playing a show on your B-Day.
But
Yeah, with Outlaw Creek, dude. Reunion. Can't get much better than that.
that is exciting. So country. So your parents didn't necessarily migrate towards that. You kind of did that.
yeah, it's
on your own,
just
based
kind of
on
what I don't know. I just fell into loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. That's cool. I, for one, do not care for country. Just full disclosure, I don't
Wow.
like to.
Well,
Yeah,
we can probably end this now.
And his country.
huh?
And his country.
yeah.
Okay, Luigi.
Yeah, I don't. It never like. So I don't want to say none at all, but like I really like Steve Earle, for instance.
Okay, then yeah, you can't say I don't like country.
Right. I mean, obviously you grow up with like Johnny Cash and stuff like that, but that's almost, to me, that's almost like,
No, that's country.
yeah, it's kind of like before what I would consider like to.
No, that is
Days
country.
country.
That
It's
is
like-
that is country.
It's like original country. Yeah.
You should so just when people say, "Do you like country?" You just say, "I actually don't really like new country."
Right. Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to think of other thing like like mom liked like George Strait.
Oh yeah, my mom
And,
was huge on her.
Yeah.
My mom
Alan
was
Jackson, like Alan Jackson, I'm pretty familiar
Garth
with.
Brooks.
Yeah, nobody that
My mom was
I
big.
know really listened to him a lot. I mean, I know a lot of him just because he's Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I'm not a big NBA fan, but I know who Kobe Bryant is,
Yeah,
type.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that same type of, he's so big that
Yeah.
how do you not know who he is? But I'm trying to think of, like, my dad, so there's some other weird, obscure ones, or maybe not so much to you, but like Trent Summerall, don't know him.
Don't know him.
Or like Lucinda Williams.
I know the name.
Yeah. I grew up listening to some of that. Oh God, there's another lady that I'm not going to be able to remember. So I might as well not even try. I can't remember. Oh yeah, Lucinda Williams, and then like Nico Case was another one.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Should I know these?
I don't know. They're like I said. They're like, boy, I would have to look up and see like the height of their success. I'm going to say 90s, like
Oh, okay.
early to mid 90s is
Country?
probably. Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely recognize Lucinda.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the last one?
Nico Case.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if I recognize
Nice
that.
that one. I'm trying to think.
Are
who
they
it
just
was.
like, did they have like one big hit song? Or
No,
they
I
just-
don't even know if like I would be hard pressed to tell you what a hit song even is for a couple of them.
Okay,
They're
okay.
just kind of like an obscure
Okay.
country band that just have they have like a discography, but I don't
Okay.
know if I can name without like googling some of their popular songs if I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
remember a song to tell you. I mean,
All
I
right,
remember
all
listening to a
right.
lot of those albums. Oh, I don't know who else that like, but stuff like that. Like, I'm not oblivious to it. I know. Oh, like Kenny Chesney was really popular whenever I was like in late elementary, junior
Yeah,
high, and all
yeah.
that type of stuff. I never really cared for him, but I heard a lot of it just because it was popular. Things like that.
You'd probably like Co Wetzel.
Oh, dude, you'd love Co.
Well,
Texas Red Dirt, baby.
It's pop punk.
Yeah.
It is. No, it seriously is.
Yeah.
I know. The whole Red Dirt thing, like, I don't have a problem with Red Dirt, but it's just another style of pop country that people, I think, try to.
It is. It's like that is true. Red Dirt has turned more to pop country, but it's okay because it's Texas.
Yeah, in
That's kind
Oklahoma.
of how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I felt like it was always that. It was just like less. Initially, it was a little bit less
Yeah, but you
poppy
got,
than
like- but you
mainstream
got,
pop country,
Jason
but
Boland and the Stragglers, who
Yeah.
were like that was country. That wasn't pop punk or at all.
Yeah.
That was country, and that's Red Dirt.
yeah,
But then like you had an influx of a lot, or maybe it was both of them the whole time. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely both of them
yeah.
out there.
Like Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Oh yeah, CCR, like
They're awesome.
they're country.
yeah.
They have a
to
few
me
songs that are like
those dudes were like kind of the precursor to what Red Dirt ended up being a little
oh,
bit.
I could see
100%.
that.
Yeah.
They
And I
paved the way.
I remember a bunch of whenever I was
lot.
18 and got my first real job doing the wind turbine thing, like all these guys that were about 5-6 years older than me were just in love with those dudes like in 2008.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what to me, like I heard that and was like, okay, I see why people it kind of is that mix of like it's a little more country than what I'm about to say, but it still gave me the vibes of like the Georgia Satellites
Yeah.
and stuff like that, where it's still kind of rockin' country a little bit.
yeah.
And then like one that I kind of like. Well, there's a couple, I guess, and this one's probably still a little bit popular. Like Whiskey Myers, okay. I don't.
Love Whiskey Myers.
Yeah. Or like Cody Jinks. There's Cody Jinks songs that I like. And the first place I really heard him was like on Conan O'Brien, I think. And I was
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
no
that's a
shit.
pretty good.
Cody's awesome.
Yeah.
And he came out with a metal album too. his band's Canned for Nod or Caned for Nod,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a whole metal album that's badass.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Did you,
So
ever, did you ever see those Conan skits where it's like his producer?
I don't know. My favorite one with music that he ever used to do was the Brian De La Fontaine, the self-loathing musician that would cover any song. And oh, geez, you have to look those videos up sometime. He would play anything, but like everything was, my life sucks. Yeah, I hate my life. I wish I were dead. Like,
Kill me, please.
yeah.
This is how we do it. Yeah.
There's this guy we know that
No.
we came up with this
No.
entire long story, and it was his birthday the other day,
No.
and we were talking about
No.
it, and yeah, I know. I told McKenna, I was like, "It's Howie's birthday today." She goes, "Who?" "Oh no." I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
It's fun. It's just too long of a story too.
We talked about it
is-
for 4 hours straight.
4-hour road trip. We made a whole detailed story.
This is all made up.
Yeah, it's all made up.
Okay. Yeah.
It could
Well,
happen.
foreshadowing. Oh, I can't wait to see him again.
Me too.
Oh,
So what's next? What's
One
your?
sec.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Well, what are we going to talk about? Boy, that better be important.
yeah. Oh, so, yeah.
I guess I should have went and got my bass, so he could check me off as not capable of filling in.
You should have.
Then we could put that to bed.
No,
What?
no, we'll hook you right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be kind of cool though.
What?
You playing some shows with us.
Maybe.
I was kind of worried when I went to the bathroom a minute ago. I was like, I think they're going to talk about me. It's like 2 X's.
I kind of need to. Hoping he
Oh.
didn't take too long, but I don't know. I want to talk to Tyler. I don't want to talk. I talk to you all the time.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Saw James today.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah,
I
so
guess not in here, but
I was on the phone, and I was sitting at one of the gas pumps at Casey's, and he pulls in behind me, and I'm just like talking. And I look up, I go, I think that's James Brown. I was on the phone with McKinley,
yeah.
and he just like walks up, and I just like crack the window that much. He goes, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, "I'm on the phone." He goes, "Protect Our Parks, eh?" It's the new Joe Rogan, Protect Our Parks that I love.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, you're that famous country guy in that band." And it was funny because he was coming down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, today. Yeah, it was all today, wasn't it?
What was that? What happened?
Business. He's busy with business.
It's business.
Been up?
It's that record deal he's waiting on.
Yeah. I already got one. Actually, 4 of them, but
Yeah.
it was another one.
25% interest apiece.
No, these are actually really good. These are there's
Seven-
no interest at
7%.
all. Just
No interest.
just one is a testicle and a lung. That's about it.
Oh.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I just
Are you missing a testicle in a lung?
no, so I can do it.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
you know somebody. All right.
So what's your talk about your long-term goals, Tyler, since that's kind of what you were working on whenever we first got in here.
Yeah, long-term goals to continue playing music and growing out into, keep growing the brand that I'm creating. And no, I would say the biggest goal would be like eventually I want us to record more music here coming soon,
Mhm.
and then keep the band tight and keep us building on our audience and where we play. And eventually, I'd love to play like Red Rocks and
Mhm,
a couple
mhm.
other festivals like that. So I don't know if that's a 3-year goal or if that's a 5-year goal or whatever it may be, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, like looking at my life, I want to be able to raise my family and be able to tour and to make a living off of merch and tour for 6 months out of the year, and the other
Mhm.
6 months I'd love to be with my family. So
Yep.
that'd be a goal.
I hear you there. So is it is it still? Just kind of talk about the process of that for you. Is it still? It's still fun. Is there a lot of stress with it, or are you not feeling a lot of stress?
Because I'm still independent, there is a lot of stress on me, especially these months when I get to look at my schedule and it's like, if I don't book things and I don't get us out and playing shows, then I'm not making money. So, I do, it is stressful because it's like all on me right now.
Right.
And I want to make sure I pay my guys and I want to make sure I get paid because I do it full time. So looking at when November rolled around and I looked at a pretty blank calendar, I was like, shit,
Yeah.
am I going to have a good year? But no, it's all uphill so far. It's going great. Or downhill. I don't know.
All downhill from here. Yeah.
Sorry, it's all downhill from now. Right now, it's going well, is what I'm trying to say. It's going really well.
If you listen to Newfound Glory, you know that.
Catalyst, you were there to pull me down.
Pikachu erected out your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. But so you still enjoy it, right? It's not
Yeah.
getting to be more of a job than it's always a job, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's still something
think-
you want to pursue.
I think even though it's hard, and there may be days when I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I think it still is the most amazing thing in life to be able to own a business and to be able to grow that business. I think that's like
Yeah.
so worth living for, just right there. For any American. I
Right.
think that
Yeah.
is something you should try to do, however you want to do it. So even though it is hard, but slowly we're building a bigger team around us.
Yeah.
And we'll keep getting more and more of our team made and make things a little easier and less stressful and keep growing. And
Yeah.
it takes time. It takes a little bit of time.
Time. Yep. Patience.
Yep. Jinx, you me kiss.
We'll do that off camera.
No, God said.
So he can sell it later. That's pretty cool, man. And like one thing that I always like, and we were talking about this a little bit before we even got on here, but like one thing that you say, like the amount of times that you said business in that entire little synopsis of what you got going on, like don't lose sight of that.
Yeah.
You have to treat it like a business.
I think a lot of artists
That's what
don't.
kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of artists don't, and they get stuck and they screw up, and it's like you have to look at this as a business standpoint.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a full-time musician. If you tell me you're a full-time musician and you can't talk to me about business and talk to me how you're running it as a business,
Yeah.
then you got to figure something out, because I wouldn't be doing this full-time if it wasn't a business and I wasn't actively trying to grow it and make money.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And
that's
that's
stupid. My
yeah.
wife would leave me.
right.
My
Yeah.
wife.
That's true with anything you're doing, truthfully. And it
It
doesn't
is,
matter.
it
It
is.
doesn't matter what your product is. That's the whole thing. Like a lot of people have a lot of trouble with that, but it's like it doesn't matter if your product's music. It doesn't matter if it's movies. It doesn't matter if it's
Woodworking, trucking.
creating these little things right here to plug all your 9 different adapters into. Like if you're not going to look at that as a business, and that doesn't mean that that's not going to make it fun anymore either. I think that's the hardest thing. People's like, oh well, once money's involved, yeah, it adds a lot of layers to what you're trying to accomplish, but you have to do it that way, otherwise you can't be successful.
I think it makes it better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the money implemented is like
yeah,
the coolest part of it.
process.
Is that you're making money
Yep.
off of this stuff.
Yep, money and processes.
Shit.
That's all it is. You got a process you've got to stick to. You can figure out, and then, like the processes can be played with a little bit to whatever suits your needs. But once you find what that process is, you got to stick to that process.
Yep.
A lot of people have a lot of trouble with that. But processes are in place to generate success.
I watched a really good YouTube video last night. It was the Swedish woodworker, I think is his YouTube channel. And it was a long video about him talking about the 5 years it took for him to quit his job as an assistant principal to become full-time woodworker on YouTube and create videos and content. And it was really interesting what he said is, a year in, I hit 100 subscribers, and that felt awesome. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a great, great milestone. 2 years in, I hit X amount of whatever, subscribers. And I had a CNC machine, right? I think is what he had. And he's like, all of a sudden, my views started going up on that video. So it was interesting to see certain videos he had weren't making it in the algorithm, and then this one all of a sudden popped up the minute that one took off. all these companies wanted to send him CNCs and stuff to basically product test and review on his
Yep.
channel.
Yep.
So we started doing that, and he goes, "It's crazy how easy it was for me to succumb to that and get stuck into now I am a
Product
content
guy.
creator who is reviewing products." He goes, I thought that's what I wanted, and that I thought I was getting what I wanted. I was getting the views on those videos, but that wasn't my market,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's kind of like what you were saying is
Yep.
when you unfocus and you go all these different directions, that's when you lose sight of your ultimate goal and what you really want to do.
Yeah.
So he said you need to hone in and become what you want to become. You can't grab all these audiences at once, you know?
Yep.
Find that audience and grab them.
Right.
Hook them.
Yep.
I
Yep.
thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was a great video.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out Swedish boy.
Yep. It's interesting. And
I like their meatballs too.
Swedish meat.
people. Yeah.
I love a good meatball.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
I was looking at the time.
Yep.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. That's a pretty good one. I don't know. Do you have anything else you guys want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to bring up, Tyler, while you're on here?
No, I mean I'm releasing 2 more songs
Okay.
in February.
Actually, I do have a question, and we'll talk about that because I've thought about this once and kind of forgot as we got off the train. But talk about your. It would be interesting here as we finish up, and I'll give you back to plug. You can plug your stuff, but talk kind of about the writing process for you and how that works. Do you like to do it by yourself? Do you like to do it with the band? Do you kind of come up with X amount of a song and then bring it to them? Just
Yeah, it started off I just wrote alone, and I still do a lot of writing alone. I do a lot of writing when I'm driving in the car, and I just record on my voice memos, and I record stuff. I'm trying to get better about sitting at home and physically putting the time out to write, even if it's a shit song or it's a shit verse, whatever it is.
Yep.
I just need to spit stuff out. But this past year, I wrote with, I think I did two co-writes, and one of them went really, really well, and I released that song last month, and that's done pretty decent. And so which was a struggle. It's hard to be vulnerable and to put yourself in front of other guys and write with them, and you have to understand too, like, you may not have the best idea, right? And you got to be willing to accept that, and that's part of the writing thing. So other than just me writing, sitting down with my guitar or the voice memos, which is big, like I said, I have been trying to get the band together when we don't have to just rehearse, like when we can actually afford to spend time and sit down. And I think it would be an amazing experience. I haven't really done it before with or with any band. Just for us to sit down and see what we can come up with,
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to push for us to do that
Yep.
because I think that would be awesome. I don't know if many other artists do it that way. I really don't know. I know there's some artists who will write a song and bring it to session musicians, and that's the music now,
Right. Yep.
But I
Well-
definitely am open, and I want to branch out more because that's how you just keep developing more music.
What we would do is the band would get together and start pitching out ideas, and they'd do all the music, and then I'd just kind of sit there and like think of ideas and be like, hey, maybe try this, and then I'd come back later with like a melody and lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, so my experience has always been doing it in a group, 100%. We rarely had anything like even say 60 or 70% written by a person, and then you kind of come in and just learn how to play it, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything was done like somebody, I would say most often it was a guitar riff. And like the first one had like high session. Our original guitarist had what he was trying, like he had like all these riffs, and he was kind of trying it all to be one song. And our singer at that time, who was also playing guitar at that time, was just like, stop doing all that. Just play the first part of that.
Yeah.
And then that became a song. And then like the third part became a separate song and all
That's
that type
cool,
of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. We would occasionally have a guy or two that would like bring stuff in and would like be like, I want everything to be like this. And I want you to do that. And it usually didn't work very well for us.
Yeah.
I will say it's also way different to types of bands, and not in the sense of music, but in the sense of what I have been doing for the past 5 years has been really a solo project that has grown to me having a band backing me.
Yeah.
So that is the tough part with, like, I get what you're saying, and that's what I have to understand, though, too, is, like, I've had my band has changed out a little bit here and there, you know, with people. And so that's also scary, is finding that right group of people that you're willing to spend the time and invest in to write the music.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's why a lot of it's been just me.
Yeah, it does. We did the same thing and just kept the songs that we liked. It wasn't that hard for somebody to come in and just play it. You know what I mean? We usually one or two of us would know enough of the parts, or we get enough of it recorded that you could figure it out, and it would change a little bit over time and with different members. But, like, you know, the root of the song was still there. My experience has always been, truthfully, collaboration's going to make the best product. And it doesn't matter if I'm talking about the music or if I'm talking about the business side of it. Like, the more people, and it's not always easy because it's not like everybody just sits down and agrees on every single thing like you would hope. But, like, whether you're trying to come up with a direction for what you're doing, whether you're trying to come up with, like, the business side of things that you're doing, and even the music side, like, the more people you can get, but now it's more mouths to feed. Don't get me wrong. But the more collaboration you can do, in my opinion, from anything that anybody ever brought in from, like, its initial piece, was always better when everybody contributed to it. I mean, that's just always the luck that I have had, I guess. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I always had a lot of fun writing. I mean, it could get stressful because you hit a wall sometimes or whatever, but then that would just mean it's time to stop and relax and get away from it.
Dustin always did a really good job at helping, like, piece together
he
songs.
is unbelievably good at arranging and transitioning. Like, he was pretty much the one that could always come up with the transitions and the arrangement, and that is difficult. Like, I feel like that's something you have a knack for or you don't. And I don't. Like, I can't think of any song that started because of something I wrote on the bass. Anything that I did on the bass was because after listening to the drums and the guitar long enough, I would hear something that made sense. And it used to really chap my ass that I wasn't creative enough to really come up with some real kick-ass bass line. But then, like, the older I got, the more it's like, you know... But then you're just forcing yourself to try. You know what I mean? Like, most of what I would come up with is and I've always been, it's just the type of bass player I am. Like I said, I'm rarely doing anything fancy. Like, my joke was always like, I will do one cool bass line in an album because it'll just hit me right and I'll figure it out and it'll make sense. But otherwise, I'm just listening to what everybody's doing and then just trying to hold down rhythm and hold down the bottom and all that type of stuff. And it was, I think, you know, Matty Sanders. He was the one that actually finally, after years of working with him, was just like, if that's what works and that's what you feel and that's like, it's like, just do that. Like, that's going to be way better than trying to. And he would tell us all the time, bands would come in all the time and be like, they try to do so much shit above their level, so much crap above their level, and then whenever you get in here, you can't do it, and it's really hard to get them taught fast enough to make it right, and they get upset, and they keep trying to want to play it the way they wrote it, but it doesn't work, and all that stuff. And that was one compliment he always gave. It's like, you guys don't ever try to push your envelope. You stay right within your bounds all the time, pretty much. You know, so.
But we spent forever piecing things together, too.
We did before we would get there, for sure. There was always stuff that would change, though, and he would have ideas, and, like, we would get to something and be like, turns out that doesn't really work. You know?
That's where the producer comes in, which is a huge thing I learned that you need.
Yeah, a good engineer, and then the next step's a good producer, honest to God.
Producer,
which we unfortunately found at the end of our run. That guy that's been producing our shit's amazing, and we should have worked harder to find somebody like that after the engineer was done.
It's almost, I would almost say a producer is more important to have than, well, maybe not I mean, I would almost put a producer over an engineer after going through what I went through.
You gotta have it all. You do.
Well, you do need to have it all. I agree, but the song needs to be. I mean.
Yes.
The song needs to be good.
Good. Yep.
I have a meeting that I have to be at.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll wrap this up.
All
We're
right.
good. Thank you, Tyler. We'll do
Thank
this
you.
again. I
Thank
sure
you.
appreciate it. It was
Two
great
new-
talking
two
to
new
you.
songs coming out this next month.
Yep.
Thanks.
Follow you on everything, right?
Everything official Tyler Anthony.
Official
Yes.
Tyler Anthony. Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, TikTok, if
Yeah.
it's there.
Tic Tac.
Perfect. All right. Thanks a bunch, man.
YouTube. Thanks, guys.